Right. So the session we're going to discuss today is different type of errors and how to audit these formulas what we have created. Let's also understand why is this necessary. We learned so many functions, different categories of functions, say text functions, state functions, conditional functions, or say lookup functions. While working on functions, we might get some errors. It's not that only people who are the beginners might get errors and experts might not get errors. It's not like that. Errors will come for everyone, but the way the error comes, that can differ actually. Sometimes we have not given a proper value, or sometimes we have not given proper reference, or we have not mentioned proper function itself, the function name itself. Then we might get this errors. So what we'll do is we'll try to understand the different type of errors in Excel while writing a formula, and we'll see how to overcome it or how to handle it. If you go inside, I have captured different type of errors which we get in our Excel. First one, we'll understand this hash error. If you see, I'm getting this hash, hash, hash. This is actually not an error. What will happen is when I'm actually storing some value in a cell, the value might not get a proper space to display the numbers. Now let me just drag it. Say I'm getting this number. Or what you do is take your cursor to this line, the separator, what you see here, the headers, just double click. This will expand. That means if I don't have enough space, then what it will do, it will give me this hash. Just try to expand this, I'll get the results. This is nothing to do with a function or say formula. It is just because I'm not getting the space, I'll be getting this error. Let's go to next one. Division error. The previous session we saw while learning about if error, that is division error. Why this division error will come? Let's do a calculation. This divided by this. Let me copy this down. Now you can see division error here and division error here. This division error, you can see that div divided by 0. That means any value, if you're trying to divide it by 0 or a blank, then I will get this error. So what should I do? I can go here, I can check why this 0 is there. See, I have this previous year data and current year data. Let's say I'm doing a calculation. I cannot always expect there should be a sales in my previous year data or say in current year data, whatever. If I'm getting this error, that doesn't mean that I have to go and change the number here. It might happen, but what will I do? I'll go here, I can apply that if error option what we learned in our previous session, but we'll understand why this error is coming. That is because I'm trying to divide a number by 0. That is why I'm getting this division error. So whenever you get this division error, just double click and see if I'm trying to divide a number by 0. Fine. Let's go to next one. NA. NA means not available. Some people actually get confused thinking that it is not applicable. It's not that. NA error we get, that is not available. When do we get this? Not available means that is when I'm actually trying to search some value, then I'm getting this error. So what we'll do, we'll go and see this. So what is that function we learned in the previous session? That is, we learned about VLOOKUP or say HLOOKUP or say match. So what these functions will do, it will try to search some value and then it will give the output as a value. Now let me try this VLOOKUP, which we learned in our previous session. I'll say VLOOKUP and I'm trying to search this value, that is employee ID 5678 within this table array F4 comma, let's say 2 comma 0. Enter. See, it says NA. NA means not available. Let me go and put this E5678 somewhere in the list and say enter. See, I'll get this result. So if I'm getting NA, that means not available. Not available means the value which I'm trying to search is not there in the table array. Next one, a reference error. A reference means what? I'm trying to refer. So we have three different type of references we saw. Reference means we are referring to some cell. Same thing, let's see in a VLOOKUP or a HLOOKUP or index or whatever in that formula. Let me make it as 001. I'll go here, I'll say equals VLOOKUP of this value, comma, and instead of selecting the whole table, what I'll do is I'll select only these two columns. That is because I need only name. Let me select the whole column, comma, 2, comma, 0, enter. See, I'm getting the result. Let me fix this as well. Right. Now, there is no problem here because E001 is available and I given the column as 2 because I've selected these two columns. Fine. Now, let me take the same formula here. I need to get department. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go here. I'll try to change this 2 to 5 and say enter. See, I'm getting this reference error. Why is this error coming? Let's go and check. If I just double click on that, the table array says these two columns. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the fifth column out of these two columns wherein there is no fifth column in this table array. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me drag this till here. If I expand the table, see, now it's giving the result human resource because now column 5 is available. But in the previous selection, I was having only two columns. If I enter, see, I'm getting this reference error. So whenever you're getting this reference error while using this VLOOKUP or say HLOOKUP or index, so what you do is just go and check if I given the proper table array. You might not find this in offset because offset is just a reference. So what it will do, if I give the column index number, row index number, it will just go and search for that index number based on the reference number. But if I'm using VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP or index, what will happen? I'm trying to look by table array. Okay, fine. Name error. Name means what? It's a function name. So we saw so many functions, say sum, average, minimum, VLOOKUP or whatever. These are all function names. Suppose if you're giving a wrong name, say there's a spelling mistake in my function, the name of the function, then I'll get this name error. So the error itself says name. I'll go here, I'll say equals name. Sorry, see, that function name itself is not there. That's why I'm getting this name error. Or let's say I'll use this sum and I'll select this, say enter. See, I'm getting the result. Now instead of sum, I would have given Sam, and I will select the, I'll see, this sum is available in my Excel sheet, I mean in the Excel, the formulas. But if you go here, this Sam is not available. So it is giving me a question mark saying that what is the function name? See, it's a question mark saying what is that function name you're trying to find. So this function name is not there in my library. So what will happen in the backend, all the functions will be available, but this Sam is not there. So what it will do, it will give me an error saying that what is that function name, I'm not able to understand. So whenever you're getting this name error, go directly and check the function name whether you're given a proper name or not. Null error. Null means blank. Null means blank. Now let's understand why this error will come. What will happen is, let's understand this, say this plus this, I'll get the result. But sometimes while typing, I might miss the operators like this, say equals this. I'll forget to give plus. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll select one more address, enter. See, if you go and check this, here there is no operator. What it will do is the Excel will get confused whether I should do any operations on what kind of operations I have to do in this. Sometimes some people have the habit of typing, say for example sum. So what I usually do is I'll just select this C10 to F10. Some people have the habit of typing, say sum of, they'll say C11. So instead of giving this colon, they would have forgot to give the colon, say F11, close bracket. See, now the Excel will not know whether I have to select from year till year or whether I should add this value or what. Say enter. See, I'll get this null. So whenever you're getting this null error, go and check your formula whether you're using the right operators. Otherwise, you will get this kind of errors. This is very rare actually. Null error, it's very rare because usually people will give some operators, but since sometimes suppose if you are missing any operators, then you will get this null error. Fine. Let's go to value error. Value error comes in various different kind of situations. Let's take one example. One example is, suppose if I'm trying to do a calculation on a text, say current year divided by, let's say previous year is the formula. By mistake I would have selected this and say enter. See, I'll get this value error. Or if I'm trying to find some value, we've learned this find function in our previous sessions. Find, I'll say Z and I'll select this region and say enter. See, in this case also I'll get this value error. So value error you get when I'm doing a calculation on a text, or sometimes when I'm trying to find a value in a cell and I'm not finding that text, then I'll get this value error. Next one, num error. Num error is an error which we get when the calculated value is too big. If you'd have seen in a calculator, when I'm doing some calculation, suddenly I might get that ERR or say E or something, because the value whatever is there, it is beyond the limit of the system. Let's assume say equals this to the power of this and say enter. See, if you just observe 87,970 to the power of 367, that means these many times we have to multiply this, so this will become beyond the limit of my computer. So what will happen in that case? It will say I cannot display the number. So I'm just saying that I don't know to display so big number. It will just give me the error saying that it's a big number, say hash num error. So these are the errors what we have. Say hash error, that is because I don't have space. Division error, that I get when I'm trying to divide a number by 0. NA, when the value is not available. A reference error, that is when the reference is not proper. Name error, when the function name is not correct. Null error, when I'm not giving a proper operator. Then value error, I'll get this when I'm trying to divide or say do a calculation on a text or find a value, and if I'm not finding that value. And num error, when I have a bigger number, and then I'll get these errors. So these are the errors what we have in Excel. So you just go through that. If you find any errors in your formula, just try to refer any of these errors, then easily you can rectify it. But how to rectify it, how to check that if there is an error, how to validate it, that I'll tell you in the next chapter, that is validating the formulas. Let's go and we'll see how to validate the formulas. Okay, formula auditing and formula view. Let's go inside. Formula auditing means checking the formula. I have to check. Why we have to check? See, when I say 1 plus 1 equals 2, that means the value is right. What if 1 plus 1 equals 3? I'm not getting any errors in the formula, but I'm getting error in the result. That means there is some problem in the formula itself. So this will be logical errors, not the syntax errors. Syntax errors means it will throw an error, like what we saw that we saw a few errors. But what if I'm getting this logical errors? Though I'm getting the result, but the result itself is wrong. So I need to check the formula. So for that, we use these techniques of formula audits. How to audit the formula? Let's check. Here I have something called as trace precedence. trace precedence means, suppose I have a formula here. Let's assume I have a formula. I'm getting a result, but I want to know how this value derived, means what all cells, which are cells I'm using to get this result. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go to this formulas. Here I have a section or a group called as formula auditing. Let me click on this trace precedence. If I click on this trace precedence, I will get arrows for which all cells I'm referring for this result. Let's go on top. See, I have a dot and it is pointing there. That means I'm using this cell. Let's go here. See, it is pointing this. Fine. That means whatever cells I'm using, so it will just point here like this. Let me take one more example. Let's say I'll take a new sheet itself. Let me type some value. And here I'll do it in a different sheet. Now, if I'm doing in this sheet itself, say equals this divided by this. It is within the sheet. Let me go here, say formula, and if I say trace precedency, it will show these two values. What if I'm doing the same calculation in a different sheet? See, equals this value divided by this value. And see, I'm getting the result here. Now, if you want to audit this, because it was here directly, I got the arrow mark like this. But what if I'm in a different sheet? Now, if I give this, the arrow cannot pass with different sheets. So what will happen is, when I just click on this trace precedence with a different sheet, click on this, see, what it will do, it will point a sheet here with an arrow saying that the value what I'm getting here is from different sheet. So how to go to that sheet? Just go here, double click on this. I'll get the references on which these the result what I'm getting here will be referred. Now just select this and say okay. See, it will point out there. Again, let's go here. See, just double click. I'll point out this one. Say go like this. That means if it's in a different sheet, you'll not get the arrow directly to that sheet. You'll get one small table here which will say they're referring to a different sheet. Then double click on this, the line whatever you have, it will give me the referred cells here. Select that and then you can go to that particular sheet where we have referred. Let's come back. This is for trace precedence. Let's go to one more option. We understood that if I'm getting a result, if you want to check which all cells are used for getting this result, I'll use this trace precedence. But sometimes what will happen, there are some cells which I'll be using for various formulas. So various cells which are formulas. Let's assume that this cell what we have, that is C8, this can be used in multiple cells to write a formula. Now I want to know this cell is used in which all formula cells. So what I'll do, I'll go to this formulas and I'll say trace dependence. When I say dependence, what will happen? What all cells are dependent on this particular cell? That will be shown. Say trace dependent. See, you can see the arrowhead here. See, this C8 is used here. It is used here. Also, it is used here. So wherever the cells are used, then this dependence will show that these are the cells which are used. That is, this cell C8 is used in this cell, and this cell. So trace precedent and dependence will show some arrow marks so that we can easily check the say cells which are referred. Let's go to the next one, show formulas. This is a very nice option. I'll tell you what it is. If you're a person who is checking a template, very new, someone has developed a template and now you want to check where all formulas are available. If you get the template, you'll not know where all formulas are there. You have to go and check manually. See, to go and check where all formulas are there. Otherwise, what I can do is just go to this option, say show formulas, and if you click on this, the entire sheet will expand to show the formulas like this. It will just expand, it will show the formulas. Suppose if any point of time in any of your sheets, if you're finding something like this, don't panic. I've seen many people getting afraid, saying that what happened, only the formulas are shown here, so they might delete this and do something. Don't panic. So what you do is just see here. See, this is actually the show formula mode, where it will show me all the formulas. Just go here, click again, it will come back to the normal mode. So here, this is the result mode, so where I'll get all the results. In case if you want to see the formula, just say show formula. So everywhere I can see this, the entire sheet, wherever it is, it will give me the formula, it will show me the formulas. Fine. Next one, evaluate formula. Evaluate means, we also call it as debugging. Debug means to know. Say for example, if you see I'm getting this minus 18%, I have a doubt, thinking that why this minus is coming. There are chances that the profit might go negative as well. That means we are in loss. But still I have a doubt why this 18% is coming. So let me go and check the values. So in that case, I can use this evaluate formula. If I click on this, I'll get one dialog box like this, wherein it will try to solve or simplify the equation one by one, that is cell by cell, or part by part. If you can see this, there is one underscore. If I say evaluate, it will give me the result of this J8. See, I'll just click on this. See, I got the result. Now it says C8. Let me click on this. See, now what it will do, it will try to calculate this one. It is saying minus 1119. It is removing the bracket now. See, done. That is going to C8. Then I'll click on this. See, this is how I'm getting 18%. So this evaluate formula is used, suppose when I'm actually getting an error. So why am I getting error? Where is the error happening? So because of which calculation it is happening? Or sometimes I might get results which is not I'm expecting. So you can go here and you can evaluate one by one. Now you're still not happy with the result what you got, and still you're not able to understand. So what you do is just say restart. Again, it'll restart from beginning. See, like this. So I can keep on checking unless and until you understand the formula, how the results are coming, and then if you are okay, then what you can say close, it will come back here. It is nothing to do with the calculation here, it will just evaluate and will see how the results are coming. Fine. Next one, error checking. Error checking, wherever I'm getting error, I want to know why this error is coming. We saw so many errors, the different kind of errors in the previous chapter. Now let's go here somewhere. Yes, I have an error here. Why this error is coming? Just click on the small arrow mark and say trace error. Click on this. See, it is something similar to your trace precedence. So what it will do is it will go and it will track. This is where I'm having 0. That means division error means division error will actually show me that there is some value which I'm trying to divide it by 0. That's why I'm getting an error here saying division error. So I can go and I can rectify it, or I can understand, okay, there is no sales in this quarter, so that is why I'm getting this error. Next one, watch window. Watch window is an option most of them actually don't use, but it is a very good option to use when I'm actually not in the particular sheet or in particular column, but I want to know the results which is actually somewhere far. What I was trying to tell you, let me show you. Let's assume, let me take this headings. Let me take, I'll scroll down somewhere in the bottom, let's say in 100, say F100. I'll write a function here, or say I'll write a formula here, say equals quarter 3 divided by quarter 4. So in my F100, I given a formula saying E8 divided by F8. Let me convert this into percentage. So it says 48%. Let's scroll up. Let me try to change the values. I'll change these values to 12,000 and this one to 5,000. So what will happen? There will be some value changes there. So if you want to know that, I have to go here, scroll down, and have to check where is this F100. Yeah, 240%. Again, I'll scroll up. Now suppose if this gets changed, let's say this becomes 14,000 now. To get the results, again I have to scroll down. So this will become very hectic for us every time. To get the results, I'll be keep scrolling down and scrolling up. Instead, what I'll do is, let me scroll down. I will select this and I'll say, click on this watch window. So what this watch window will do is, it is like, it will keep a watch on that particular cell. I'm watching that cell. What's happening with that cell? Let's say add watch. It lasts for this cell. I'll say add. Just observe when I say add, what will happen. See, just expand this. It will say book, nothing but the file name. Sheet, that is which sheet. Name, suppose if I've given a name, say we can give a name for that cell. If I given any name, that will display here. Cell, that is F100. F100 is the cell address. What is the value? That is 86%. If I have a formula, then it will say E8 divided by F8 is the formula what I have given. Now let's scroll up. Just observe what will happen. I'm scrolling up. See, this window will not move. It will be like this one. Now what I'll do, I'll go here, try to change the value. Let me make it 6,000 and just observe. If I say enter, see, it will give me the result here. So I'll know that what is the value which is getting changed there, instead of again scrolling down. Let's say I'll do some changes here again. See, it's getting changed here. That means this watch window is very helpful when you are actually having formulas in multiple places and I want to get the results immediately in one window. So this is very useful. So many people actually don't use this, maybe because they're not aware. But if you guys want to know, say, the values from multiple sheets or in a different workbook also, you can use this watch window, which will be very helpful to know the results in some other places by changing the value which is referred in this sheet or in any other sheets, right? Okay, there is one more thing I want to discuss about the calculation option. So why I actually discuss this option is, many people, what will happen is when I'm doing some calculation, they might not get the proper results here. Again, they go to refresh and say refresh and then only I'll get the result. I'll tell you why it happens. There is something called as calculation options. This is very important. Sometimes this would have got selected manual. See, it was automatic. I'll just select this manual. Let me change the value here. Let me make it something and say enter. Can you see that? It is not changed. Now I'll press F9 and see what will happen. See, it got changed. If I'm using this manual, the values, if I'm giving, the formulas will not get updated because I given it as manual. So I have to refresh it manually. If I give automatic, now let's say I'll go here, I'll change this to 10,000, enter, no changes. Let me change this to automatic. See, it got changed. Let me go and change this to 10,000 again. So here it is getting automatically updated. Why? Because it is automatic. But why these options are available, I'll tell you. See, if I say manual and now if I type same 10,000 here, it will not happen. This is a problem actually. The people think that no, I'll go and always I'll keep this automatic. Yes, I'll tell you, there is one advantage of keeping it in manual or automatic. I'll tell you when we should keep this manual. I select this manual. What will happen? I have a very big template wherein I have lot of formulas. Technically what happens is, any formulas here, so any formulas you put or any formulas in other workbooks what you've opened, if you do any changes here, it will refresh all the formulas which is there in that Excel workbook. To observe, I'll put one formula here just for your understand, and this is very important to know. I'll say rand between. So rand between is a formula which will keep getting updated randomly. I'll get the random numbers. Let me copy this down. Now just observe. Say I'm getting same number here, because I've given it as manual, let me make it as automatic for some time. See, I dragged it, I'm getting some results here. Now if I go and update any of the values, let's say I'll update something here, and observe what will happen in this cell. See, it is getting refreshed. Not only this formula, not only these formulas which I've applied for random, these formulas are also getting refreshed. Every cell will get refreshed. Think that you have an Excel sheet where I have so many VLOOKUP formulas, so many SUMIF functions, so many things, so many formulas are there. If I'm doing one change, it will refresh all the cells. You would have experienced it when I'm trying to copy and paste one single cell, or say one single column. It'll get hanged. It'll be keep on saying that updating 5%, 10%, 20%, then 100%. It'll take at least 2 to 3 minutes, or sometimes it'll go beyond that. The reason is, it is not because the Excel had got crashed, or the data is huge or whatever. That is because every time the formulas are getting updated. Now let's assume I am working on a monthly report. 12 columns are there, but 12 columns are coming from different files. I'm copying one file, say January, and I'm pasting in my template. Now again, suddenly the refresh will happen. I will go to February month data, copy that, and again I'm putting it to my template. Again it will start refreshing. So instead of that, what I'll do is, I'll go here, I'll change that to manual, and I will copy all the 12 different columns data from different files and put it into my template. Now the calculations are not happening. After doing the copy and paste, then I'll go and say automatic, because the calculation should happen once. So all the calculations are depending on these 12 columns. Now once pasting it, then if I say automatic, it will refresh at once. Otherwise it will refresh 12 times. So this automatic and manual, you can take a call when I should have this manual or when I should go for automatic. Right? So this is very important. Suppose if your formulas are not getting refreshed, just directly go to this options and check whether it is manual or automatic. If it is manual, whatever changes you do, say I'll go and I'll change something here, this will not change. Nowhere it will get changed. Just go here and say automatic, then you'll know the calculations are getting updated. Okay, this is very important, because I've seen many people asking me saying that, sir, I'm not getting this totally, it is not getting refreshed, so what to do? That is just simple. Just go here and say automatic. Suppose if it is in manual, still if you want to refresh it, press function F9, this F9 key. If you press F9, the entire workbook will get refreshed. Okay, this is what we have with our, say, errors in the functions, and then how to audit the functions, or say the formulas what we have written. The next chapter what we have is go to special. What is go to special? I'll explain. Go to special is actually an option similar to your pay special. So what is pay special? Let's understand, and then I'll come to this go to special. Pay special means what? We have seen this in our previous session. I'll copy some data. While pasting, I'll not say Control C, Control V. I will go to the paste special options, and I have so many options there to paste. I can paste it as values. I can paste it as formats, a column width, so many different ways. Similarly, go to special is for selection. I'm trying to select the cells. Let's say I want to select only blank values, or I want to select only text, or I want to select only formulas. In that case, I can use this go to special option. Let's observe. Here I have something called as comments, and I have given so many different cells with comments here. I want to select all the cells which are having comments here like this. Now we call it as nodes actually in the newer version. These comments what you see here, see, I want to highlight all these comments. One way is I can go here, check this manually like this, say hold control and I'll select. But this will take a lot of time. Instead what I'll do, I will select the table, entire table, just select this. And then go to home button. Here I have something called as find and select. Click here. Here I have something called as go to special. Click on this. See, I'll come to this dialog box wherein I have so many options. Let me close this. The shortcut key is Control G. Let me put it here. Control plus G. Let me select again. I'm just trying to select Control G and I'll say special. See, I'll come to this screen. Here it says notes and just say OK. Wherever the cells have got that comments, it will get highlighted. Let me just click on this color. See, let it be anywhere. It will just highlight. This is go to special. Special means it is selecting the the required cells or say range. Let's go to the next one. Constant. What is a constant? Constant means these are the cells which will not change. That means a fixed values. Let me go here. See, this is constant. This is constant. This is constant. Let me just put one formula here. Drag this. I'll just put one formula here as well. Let me drag this as well. And let's put one formula here also. I'm just trying to put a formula here. That's it. Just a sum formula. And we'll take one text formula here. Say equals left of this comma. Say 3. Right. Let's observe. See, these are constant values. Constant values means it will not change. They are fixed values. Formulas will change. See, if I'm going to change this value, here I'll get a change in this. So these are formulas. These are constant. If you go and check, the constant value can be a text or a number, and formulas can be a text functions or a number functions as well. So what I'll do, I want to select all the values, that is constant values. Let me select only this range. In this I want to select only constants. Go to this, go to special, I'll say Control G, and we'll observe here special. You go and check this constant, I'll click on this constant. Now let me say OK. See, wherever the constants are there, that will be selected. Let's try it again. Let me select here, Control G, special. Now if you go here, I'll say constant, but I want to select only numbers. Here I have some options. Let me remove all this. It says numbers. Say OK. See, now the text part is not selected, only numbers are selected. Let's select again, Control G, special. Let's say I want to select text. See, I have this text, constant text. Say OK. See, only the text constant cells will be selected. Fine. Let's select this. I want to select the formulas. Control G, special, and here I'll say formulas. Say OK. See, it is selecting only those cells which are formulas. Let me just select again, Control G, special, and I'll select this formulas. I want to select only number formulas. Remove this. Say OK. See, again select Control G, special, formulas. I want to select only text functions here. Say OK. Only text functions are selected. So this go to special is actually used for selecting. But what I have to select, that I have to go and select in go to special the options. Let's work on some more. Say formulas I just showed you. I'll go to this blanks. Blanks will select all the cells which are blank. What I'll do, just observe. This will be in a very the useful way also. You can use this. Say, let me make it some blanks here. Just observe all of you. I made blank. Let me select this. Control G, special, I'll say blanks. And say, okay, see, I'm getting blanks here. Just that's all. So what is the use of it? This is very useful, I'll tell you when. When we're actually discussing about the average, I told wherever there is some blank, sometimes you might have to add zeros. Let's observe that I have to add 0 here, wherever blanks are there. I have to go and keep on typing in all the places. Instead, what I can do is I can use, say Control G, say special, blanks, select blank. See, I want to highlight. One is I can highlight this. Or if you want to put some value there, select here, Control G, special, say blanks, right? All the blanks are selected. Let me just type 0. Now I'll say Control Enter. See, when I say Control Enter, all the selected place. That is because I just change the format. It is giving me hyphen. Just change this to number. Okay. Now again I'll do it. I'm just removing it. I just change the format so that you'll not get hyphen. You'll get 0, so that you'll not get confused. Right. Let me select this. Control G, special, say blanks, and I highlight it. This is one use, so I can highlight all the blanks. Let me select Control G and say special, say blank. Now I want to fill some value here in all the cells. Say, let's take it as 0. Put 1 0. Don't say enter. Hold Control Enter. See, wherever I've selected the blanks, that will have zeros here. This is one more use. So whenever you are trying to do something like this, so what you have to do is you have to first select the blanks and then type a value and then press Control Enter. All the selected cells will get 0. It is not only for blanks. So any selected cell, say for example, I'll go here. See, I'll select this, select this, select this, select this. So if I'm typing something and if I'm saying Control Enter, so all the places will get that value. Same logic I'm using here. So Control Enter will give me the value for all the selected say cells, whatever cell I'm using. Okay, so this is also one more use. Come to this last cell. This you can ignore, or I'll explain what it is. So what it will do is this last cell, it will help me in going to a last cell, that is till wherever I've used the Excel sheet. What I was trying to tell, let me go to this things. Just anywhere in the cell, you don't have to select, say Control G, special, and I'll say last cell, say okay. See, it'll take, it is S60, so I've used this Excel sheet till S60. Now let me go here, somewhere here I'll type something and I'll delete. That means now till AH285 I have used the cell. Let me go back. I deleted that value as well. That means till AH285 I've used the cell. So now I'm somewhere here. I want to know till where I've used the cell. Say Control G, special, and here I'll say last cell. Say okay. See, it'll take me to that cell where I've used till end. So this is, we use this mostly in the dashboard to know till where I've used the cells, but otherwise you can just ignore. It's not that very important, but good to know. I'm just telling you, this will actually give me till where I have used my Excel sheet. Right. Next one. This is again a very important option, a very useful option, I'll tell you. Visible cells. First, understand what is visible cells. Visible cells means the cells which are visible. When I'm using filters, there are some values which will get hidden. That means I'm trying to filter the data. You guys would have observed when I'm copying the data and pasting somewhere, even the cells which are hidden also will be copied and pasted. But that should not happen, because I'm filtering some data. I'm trying to copy only those cells which are filtered and I'm trying to paste it in another template or another location. In that case, what we have to do, let me go here. Let's try this. I will use a filter, data, filters, this data filters. Now just I'm trying to use this filter, so next session I'll be discussing in depth of this filters. Now we're just going in a basic way, just select these filters. I'm trying to filter few reps like this. Say okay. See, in this case you don't have any problem, but what will happen is when you have a huge data, let's say more than 5,000 or 10,000, you might face this problems where I'm copying and I'm pasting. Even the cells which are hidden, say for example I'll go here, see there are some cells hidden here, that also will be copied and pasted. So to avoid that, what I can do is, let me just select this Control G, special, and here I have something called as visible cells only. Click on this and say okay. So what will happen? Only those cells which are visible on the screen will be selected. Now I'll say Control C and then I can paste it. In this case, I have very less data, so I can just go directly say Control C and Control V. But when you have a huge data, try to use these options. And again, people who are actually moving to VBA course as well, keep this in mind. This visible cells, whenever you are filtering the data, you have to copy it by special cells, that is visible cells only. So keep this in mind. People who are actually moving to VBA course, so when you come to this options, you'll understand why I was telling that this is very important. Okay, so whenever you are filtering the data, copying it, make sure that you use special cells. Though it is a very small data or a big data, have the habit. It's a good practice. Again, I'm telling it is not compulsory. It's a good practice, right? Okay, so let's summarize quickly. So I was talking about the go to special. Go to special is actually used for selecting the cells, but in the desired manner what I need. The first option what we saw was comments, where I selected and say Control G. I used comments here. That means wherever the comments or notes are there, that will be selected. Then we saw about constant. Constant means the value which will not change. So I just try to select the constants, where the constants can be either text or it can be numbers. So the option was, I'll just go and I'll say go to special. So I used constants, and here I have the selections, either numbers or text, or if you have some errors also, you can check the errors here. So next we saw about the formulas, where we have the similar kind of options. Let's say formulas, I can either select numbers or text or whatever. And then we saw blanks, that is if you want to check the blanks, I can select here and I can check the blanks. And one more option I just got in mind. Suppose if I have a space here, say I have a space. Now here let's take some blanks, and here again I have some space. Okay, so here I have few say blanks and some blanks which have got space. Now let me select here, say Control G and say special, say blanks, say okay. See, this cell and this cell will not be selected. The reason is they have got space, so you should observe this as well. Okay, now suppose if you go here and if I'll shade, and suddenly if you see here, see, I don't have, these two are actually not blank because there is some value. How to find this? You have to use len formula, and then you can use this. Okay, fine. Then we saw about the last cell, which I told you it will go to the last cell till wherever I've used in that particular sheet. Then we saw about visible cells, that is I can select only those cells which are visible on screen, that is on the sheet. Okay, so we learned about the different kind of errors, then how to audit the formulas, and we also saw how to select the cells by using go to special. Okay, so this is all for today's session. I just briefed you three different chapters. Now what we'll do is in the next sessions we'll learn about the filters, sorting, and more other very important say options. Okay.